Hello and welcome. I want to wish everybody a very happy 2022. I'm recording this in early January of the new year, and I hope everybody has a very good year. There are some new things I'm going to be rolling out during this year that I want to make you aware of. My hope is that you'll find all of them useful as you endeavor to undertake the stock market and try to figure out where things will go. The program that I offer is called the SPX Investing Program, and it consists of four main areas. There are sub-areas underneath this, but four general, broad areas. The first is the free content. This is what I post on YouTube, this is what I post on a blog that I have, and this is freely available to anybody. I also have a channel on Rumble, so if you don't subscribe to YouTube or don't use YouTube as much anymore, I post the same videos on Rumble, but I gear the videos more towards YouTube. I have a little bit more flexibility with them, and of course there's a much broader audience on YouTube. But Rumble is really starting to make itself known and is becoming more popular with a lot of video watchers. Also, there are blog articles that I mentioned at spxinvestingblog.com. I started writing a number of articles, and it takes me a long time to do that, but I posted them late spring and then over the summer, and then I just stopped as I got wrapped up in the free stock market course that I posted in the fall. I'm going to resume that. I'm going to go back and work through some of the articles that I've already posted, update those, and make those available to you. And those are freely available to anybody. There's also different Facebook groups. There is a public Facebook group that you can join, and anytime I upload a video or have anything interesting to say, I post it in the public Facebook group. I'm also in the process of setting up a private Facebook group. This is to build more of a community where we can have some dialogue back and forth. You can ask me more direct questions. We can get into other details about things. So the public group is more just for information. The private group will be for more dialogue back and forth. There's also membership content, which means not free. I offer a lot of different classes as well as videos, but I'm kind of changing that for the first few months of 2022. I've gone through and I've really reworked a lot of things, and I'm trying out some newer formats, some new ideas. And as I'm doing this, I just wanted to make this freely available to anybody who's interested. The first part of the membership content are the online courses. You have the basics course, and that's the free course that I put out there on YouTube, and anybody can go through that. It's about 20 hours long. There's 43 sections. It's not a short class. Even though it's a basics class, I cover a lot of different areas. My hope is if you haven't gone through that, please do. Some of that information is outdated because I like to use current examples, but I'll be reworking that as we go through the year. Other courses that I teach that are pre-recorded just cover basic concepts. What is a stock? What is a bond? What is a mutual fund? What is an index? Then I go through some different theories. What are different ways that we can study the market? Do we use a thing called fundamental analysis or technical analysis? How do we overcome our emotions? And I deal with those in the more advanced courses that I make available. And then I also have a long list of strategies that I go through. Some of you may be more conservative and you want to take a longer term approach with things. That's fine. There are good strategies that you can implement. There are strategies that you can use not only to have capital gains, but there are strategies that you can implement to protect what you already have or to protect your investment. There are other strategies that are more intermediate term, where maybe you're trying to look at shorter term gains or shorter term protection. And then there is short term opportunities as well. And you can mix and match these. You can have some long, intermediate, and short-term strategies all going at the same time, and in some ways even contradict each other. You might be long, hoping that the market will go up with some of your longer-term investments, but we hit a rough patch, and so you might do some short-term, short strategies where you benefit when things go down. And I go through those in these courses that I make available. Also, and the thing that I actually enjoy doing the most are a thing called daily, weekly, and monthly videos. This is how this whole idea got started for me. Over 20 years ago, I came up with this idea of, hey, why don't I record a video about what's happening right now? And I go through and I look at all the different charts. I pull out those charts that are actually telling us something, and then I do a video about that. And it's been a real effective way for understanding where is the market right now and what is the probability of the direction going at least until tomorrow. We kind of take this day by day. From there, I also started to come up with a weekly video where I do a different kind of analysis, more on a longer term frame, a bigger picture look at things. And some people find just the weekly videos to be valuable. They don't really have the time to go through the daily videos, but they like the idea of the weekly videos. And then I also do monthly videos, and I break those down into 2 separate videos. I have one video where I talk about current market conditions on a really big picture view. And then I also go through each month and look at the economic reports and how is the economy doing. I talk about that sprinkled through all the other videos, but then I devote an actual video to the economy so we can have an understanding of what's happening, what information we're being given, and how that might impact prices going forward. Throughout all those videos, I provide my own analysis, what I see actually happening. I also provide some insight. I have decades of experience doing this, and a lot of people have found it to be very helpful when I go through and say, oh, look at this, look over here. I don't use just a few indicators. I use as many indicators as I can find. I use as much information as I can find, and I pool all of that together and reach a consensus about where we're at right now and where we're likely to go in at least the short-term future. And then I also provide commentary. There are different news events that happen. There are things that happen in the market. I might bring those up. The market's always fixated on one thing or another. I try to bring that up as well. Sometimes we're in a more positive charged environment. I'll talk about that. Sometimes we're in a more negative environment. Other times we're anticipating something. There might be something happening geopolitically, or we might be waiting for some economic report to tell us what's happening. The Fed might be ready to do something. There might be legislation that's passed that could impact the markets. So we talk about all those different things that are happening while they're happening. Then I also provide some supplemental videos. These are topics that are related to what we're doing, but they generally go a little bit outside of the courses and the daily videos that I do. It might be an article or an event that's happening or a book that I run across, and it's something that I think would be beneficial to you. I'll do a video about it. It may not be directly applied to what we do, but it still can impact what's happening. Just as an example, I focus on the S&P 500, but I've done videos on cryptos. I've done videos on bonds. I've done videos on Brexit. I've done videos on the different things that are happening in the economy. And sometimes they're not necessarily pre-planned. They just kind of happen. And when I see something and I go, this would be a good thing to tell you about, I go ahead and make a video about that. When they're short, usually less than 30 minutes or so, I call that a supplemental video. When they're a little bit longer, I call it a workshop. And then sometimes I may even call it a breakout course. What they're called is just based around how long they are. The third area is what I call a sample portfolio. And please, I don't tell people what to do. These are not recommendations for actual trades that you take. You can if you would like to, but sometimes I set these up in a way that I know they'll self-destruct. So if you just blindly come in and say, oh, John's saying do this or this and this for the next day, and you go ahead and do it, and then it falls apart on you, well, I might have been trying to use that for illustrative purposes. It's just suggestions where I go through, I evaluate where we're at, and then I say, okay, based on things right now, this would be a potential strategy that might interest you. This might be a longer term strategy that you want to implement. So I do them on a lot of different time frames. The idea is to see them day in and day out and how they perform, watch them to see how do you react to them emotionally, and then find out, is this a strategy that you would like to implement yourself? So they're not actual recommendations, it's more of a learning tool where based on the program that I teach, these are the things that we come up with as potential ideas to actually get into the market. And then the fourth area is more community-based, where through the Facebook group, through different community programs that I have available, we can come together as a group. We can talk about things either in real time, or we can do it more like in a Facebook group where somebody posts something and then other people can respond to it as they get a chance to do that. And I also leave aside time for individualized assistance and coaching. Sometimes you might want to participate in a group, and that's great, and you might find your answers, and you post a question or you answer somebody else's question, and everything is said and done right there. Other times, maybe you don't feel real comfortable about posting something that other people can see, and so you want to talk to me directly. You can email me. We can set up a time to meet on Skype or Zoom or Messenger or something, and we can talk about things that way. So that part of it is more coaching. The interesting thing about the stock market is it does lend itself to be community-based. I follow some chat rooms, and you would not believe the crazy things that people have flying back and forth. At the same time, the truly successful investors over a long period of time, they don't tell other people what they're doing. But at the same time, as you're learning, it is helpful to understand things, and you can get insight from maybe another member or from me, or just by asking questions that maybe have been overlooked in some of the online courses. The idea behind this whole program is in area number 2, the membership content. The online courses, that's where you get the theory. That's where you get the foundational information. That's where you understand what the market is all about. Then the daily, weekly, and monthly videos, that's seeing the theory and basic concepts played out day after day after day. So you're not just getting a base of information and then trying to implement it. I actually combine the two together. But then you also have the community-based idea where you're not alone. Then there are different videos and articles, and starting January 3rd, 2022, that's the day that I'm recording this, so you might be watching this later in January or February. I'll keep this video up for as long as I'm doing what I'm about to tell you. What I'll be doing is outdated videos that are already posted on YouTube and Rumble. I will be updating those videos. Some of them I don't need to update because they deal with theory, and what was true a year ago is true now. But there are other things where I use more time-sensitive examples based on what's happening right now. I have a whole list of videos that I've already produced, and I'll go back through, and those that are a little bit outdated, I'll redo those videos. Also, I'll do the same thing with the blog articles. I'll go through and update those and then repost them with a more current date. Then new videos will be posted regularly. I have a whole list. At the time I record this, there's about 150 items on my list. I haven't even gotten halfway through that list of different videos that I want to make. And so I'll be recording those and then posting those as they are developed for you to freely watch on YouTube or Rumble. And then the free stock market course that I referred to earlier, it will be updated and reposted as needed. The same thing is true with that. There are some sections that I go through where the information doesn't change. It's always true. There's other information that I want to go through and improve on. I've taught that class countless times, but I'm always tweaking it and changing it. And I'll be going through and redoing parts of that, repackaging that again, and making that available to you. Then other membership courses will be available in spring, summer of 2022. These won't be free. These will be the other courses that go beyond the basic free stock market course, ones that get into different strategies that you can implement. I have a real long section on technical analysis. I go through mental analysis. This is where we really dive deep into things, and I actually present the program to you that you can then use for yourself. Then, as I also mentioned a little while ago, there is a new private Facebook group that is being launched. I'm in the process of doing that as I'm recording this, and I'm not quite sure of all the structure with all of that yet. So that'll just be a chance for you to join this group, not a public group, but it's free. And this is more of a private group where you can ask questions, we can get to know each other, we can have discussions that go back and forth, and so on. Then some of the new services, for a limited time, what I'm going to be doing probably until about March 1st, 2022, there are going to be new types of freely available videos that I usually don't make for free. I've been doing these videos for a long time, but I've really gone through and restructured them quite a bit. And so as I'm working this out, I want to make them available because I want lots of feedback and I want people to tell me, this is good, well, I didn't really like that so much, or yeah, can you do more of this? And then I get into a routine where I develop these videos that benefit you the most. So the daily video updates, I'm going to start doing those today, the day I'm recording this. The first video will be available after the market closes on January 3rd, 2022. And then my intentions are to record videos every day that the market is open, Monday through Friday. Then I'll start doing the weekly videos. I'm not sure if I'm going to do one right away or if I'm going to wait, because working out all of this for the daily videos can take quite a bit of time. And then I have a different structure that I use for the weekly videos, and that might take me some time to put those things together, as well as the monthly videos. And then there are some midday videos that I want to do right about the lunchtime in New York, which would be about 9 a.m. Pacific time, about noon Eastern time. I want to start doing a video where I talk about just what's happening so far during the day. I talk about what the market's fixated on, different news stories that have come out, different things that people are talking about, and I want to start doing those, and those will be freely available. Then I'll also be doing soon a pre-market open. From the time I do the video until the market opens the next day is about 12 hours. And a lot of things can happen in those 12 hours. We have the Asian markets opening, we have the European markets opening, different news events can happen, and things can change from where we looked at it today to where it might be tomorrow. And so right before the market opens, as close to the open as possible, and I try to do this before the market opens, but sometimes that'll bleed over into the first hour because I need some time to be able to put this together and then upload it. I used to do a blog post, but now I'm going to try doing a video, hoping that that will be a lot quicker. And then the same is true for the pre-market close. That's usually during the last hour. And that's when we, in the program that I teach, that's when we make a lot of our decisions. We don't make them at the open. We just watch things. But when we're going to pull the trigger, usually to get into a position, we usually do it as close to the close as possible. And so I will typically do some kind of a video during the last hour. And then the PDFs, I've had a few people that want some notes from the free stock market course. I'm in the process of uploading the PDFs to the blog site, and you can download those. And then please be aware of adjustments and changes. As I record this, I took about a month off. I didn't record any videos. I was able to do some traveling. I was thinking about things. And when you come up with these ideas, they sure sound great, and they sound easy when you put them down in a PowerPoint presentation. But when you go through the daily process of actually doing these things, they can change. I may add some things. I may wait for some things. The daily videos right now, I'm looking at this going until March 1st. Maybe I'll extend that. I probably won't make it shorter than that. I'll at least go that long. And there might be some other things that I add as well. That's why I want lots of feedback. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, what's helpful, what's not helpful. But just be aware that what I'm saying right now is not necessarily written in stone. There may be adjustments and changes to what I'm saying. These are just ideas that I'm presenting right now, and I'm going to go forward from here and see how well these ideas actually work. So the daily video updates are prepared each day and they cover current market conditions, and they provide my own commentary, what I'm seeing, and the insight that I have, what I see really happening. I pay attention to this stuff all the time. This is my job. And my job then is to take what I learn and then present it to you. Because you're busy, you have a job, you have things you have to do, you have a family, you have obligations. Well, part of the program is I try to lessen the amount of time that you need to make decisions, because my job is to watch everything and then present it to you in a usable manner. Those who want access to the video immediately, the daily videos that I'm going to do, you must email me. And email me at john@spxinvesting.com, and I'll add you to a private list. And I have a reason for that. The people that want to take part in this, and it's free, you do have to contact me. And when I first upload the video, it's a private video, but I have to add you to the list so you have access to that. Then those who don't mind if the information is old, because the daily videos are time sensitive. Just because I say something on Monday doesn't mean that it also applies on Wednesday or Friday. Everything is changing all the time. But if you don't mind that it's a little bit old, a little bit outdated, and you can wait, what I do is let's say I record Tuesday's video. Well, when I upload Tuesday's video, I'll go into YouTube and I'll make Monday's video from the day before public so anybody can see it. If you want to see it before other people can see it, you have to be added to the private list. But I still want to put those videos up there for you to have a chance to see how I do them and if you find them useful. So a video will go public when the next video is posted. There are some assumptions that I make when I do these videos, and I know what happens when you assume things, but I have to do that. I'm trying to keep these videos as short as possible. They're usually 20 to 30 minutes long. If I really get off on something, and if I have to re-explain things, my goodness, these videos can be an hour, hour and a half. And I don't want to do that. I just want to hit the areas that are happening right now. So I have to make some assumptions about that. I have to assume that if you are watching Tuesday's video, that you've already watched Monday's video. Because there may be things that I talk about on Monday that I don't talk about on Tuesday, but I assume that you've heard that information already. So if you're going to do this, it's going to take a commitment. I don't know how many times I recorded these videos, test videos, and I have people watch them, and I record 5 videos, Monday through Friday. And then I talk to someone, and I say, so, what'd you think of the videos? Well, I watched part of Tuesday's video. That doesn't do you any good. If you really want to take advantage of what I have to offer, you have to take advantage of the information that I'm posting. And it will help you. You will be a successful investor if you implement the things that I'm talking about. But you have to implement everything, not just buffet style, pick and choose here and there. Also, I'm assuming that the free stock market course has already been completed. You know what a stock is. You know what a bond is, a mutual fund, an index. You have some basic understanding already, or you have equivalent knowledge that you already have. So you don't necessarily have to take that class, but you do need to understand what's going on, because I'm not going to take the time to really stop and explain things. I want to keep the videos as short as possible. The idea behind this is the online courses are for the teaching. The daily, weekly, and monthly videos are for the real life application. Then another thing is I'm going to try this, but let me know what you think. The prepared subtitles that I go through and put on each video, they'll not be made available immediately. That takes me quite a bit of time to do that. For a 15-20 minute video, it's 2 or 3 hours just to go through and proofread and fix the subtitles. I know some people, the subtitles are not important. They're a nuisance. You turn them off. You don't like them. Other people, they're imperative for you. You're in a busy situation and you would rather read what I'm saying than listen to what I'm saying. Or maybe you need subtitles for whatever reason. If that is a concern, please contact me immediately and I'll try to come up with a solution for that. But the idea is when I first publish the video, it'll just be the plain vanilla subtitles that YouTube auto-generates. Now, what I'll probably do after that is go through and fix the subtitles so that when the video finally does go public, the subtitles have been proofread and fixed and updated. But let me know if that's an issue for you, and I'll do whatever I can to try to make it better. So what about the quality of the daily video? I refer to these daily videos as take one videos. After I accumulate all the information I'm going to talk about and I make some slides, and first of all, they'll be voice only, like what you're seeing right now. I'm just not in an environment right now where doing a video where you can see me is very practical. Plus, it takes a lot of extra time. I can bang out these voice-only videos a lot faster, especially if I'm not doing the subtitle proofing. Usually what'll happen when I get everything prepared, I hit the record button and boom, I go. And so you're going to hear me mix up some words. You're going to have delays. There might be times when I cough or have to clear my throat or something like that. I try to take all that stuff out of the videos that I post on YouTube. Well, because the daily videos are time sensitive, my goal is to get them uploaded just as soon as possible. So there'll be some tripping and fumbling and bumbling of words from time to time. They're recorded as soon as the necessary information is available. I like to get these posted by about 6 p.m. Pacific time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern time. Because of my current situation, I'm probably not going to be able to get them posted in that amount of time. It's probably going to be a bit later than that. I'll do the best that I can, but there's some information that I have to wait 2 or 3 hours after the market closes until that information updates. And sometimes that information is kind of critical to us and it can really help us make decisions. So I like to wait until everything is updated before I record the video. But just know that I'm trying to get them posted as soon as possible, as I say right here. That's the goal. That's why I don't do a lot of editing. That's why I don't spend time on the subtitles. Notifications when I do post a video will be made on YouTube. If you subscribe to the channel and you've got that little bell thing, it'll come up. I think it will for a private video. I'm kind of unsure about that. I'm usually only posting public videos, but I'll also post it in the different Facebook groups, the private group and in the public group. I'll also make a blog post at spxinvestingblog.com, and I can send out an email. That's another really helpful reason for me having your email address is I don't know what's fastest for you. I don't know what would help you the most. What do you use to get information? And if there's other things that I need to add in the future, let me know, like a text messaging or some kind of a group information where you get the information as quick as possible. But I try to be real consistent with the time. But then I do make an announcement. If I'm going to be late, if I'm sick, if something's happening, if I'm really busy and I just can't do the video, I'll make a post about that. Videos are named for the next day. Some people find this a little bit confusing. Just as an example, doing today's video, I would be covering the information for January 3rd, 2022. But the video is called for January 4th because I'm using today's information to do the video that applies to the next day. I also want lots of feedback. Please let me know what you like, what you don't like. Lots of comments, whether they're on the YouTube channel, on Rumble, in the Facebook groups. You can send me a message on Messenger. I do use that. You can send me an email, whatever works best for you. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. I hope that what I want to present to you is useful to you and you find it very beneficial. And I look forward to getting lots of feedback and sharing with you the information that I want to share with you.